Yes, yes, yes. We are back with another round of this recapping Cubs baseball. It's been kind of a up and down week, but we got some good fellas here that's going to talk about it. I'm your producer Denzel Snipes, and we're going to go ahead and get started because the Cubs had a really great sweep against the Astros, and then kind of fell off a little bit against Boston. But there's going to be words about it, I'm sure. But let's go ahead and bring in our host, Chicago Crusader himself, JB Ellis. Come on in.
What's going on? Denzel, good seeing you. It was like a quick flash, almost like being in first place one night. I mean, and then we'll get to that later. I got Botkins here. He's going to yell and scream, and then me and Jason will relax a little bit. We'll chill because it's a long season, 162 games. We can't get this upset on May 1st. We got to chill. We got to make it till October because we're going to be playing October baseball. But that's besides the point. Got a lot to talk about. Going to recap the Houston series, talk some Boston, those ugly yellow and blue city connects that they have. I get why they have them, but they're ugly as all sin. We're going to talk about Pete Crow Armstrong. We're going to talk about Baltimore and the Yankees. John Shear, where are you? This is your Baltimore Orioles. I don't know where you are. I think you're still in Detroit because we didn't see you last night. I think you're afraid to talk the draft. That's what I think. Well, maybe we'll talk a little Chris Bryant. I mean, I heard he still plays baseball. And then we got some good stuff to cover done it and when we're done. But let's start with Botkins. We need some energy in here. We're starting off. Let's get it going.
Hey, let's go, baby. Yeah, I mean, it was up and down week for the Cubs. You're riding high, and we're going to get into it with the Astros series. You're riding high. I mean, I know the Astros, JB, they are not the Astros of yesteryear, you know what I mean? And they seem to be on the downslope. I mean, speaking of a guy who can't play baseball, that might be Jose Abreu. He's batting about $110 more than us combined. So, that shows you how good the Astros are. But anytime you can sweep a team like the Astros, that a team that's always at the very top of their division has contended in the World Series or, chances to win the pennant, you got to feel pretty good because that's still a pretty darn good baseball team. By October, like you said, I hope to be playing in October baseball too, but enjoy these nice runs when you got them and get out the brooms from, and we were able to sweep out H-Town.
So we're going to bring Denzel on for a quick second because I just got one thing to say to you.
Uh-huh.
So the season started in Houston
Uh-huh.
with the Yankees sweeping Houston.
Yep.
Now the Cubs swept Houston. So on that note, we're going to remove you because you don't even need to respond. I just wanted to point it out to you.
Yeah. It's not your daddy, or it's not like a yesteryear's Astros, but
it's bad.
You still feel pretty good, right? Like Swanson had a good series. You first game of the game, you win 7-2. You're looking pretty good. Then Wednesday's game, you win a close one, 4-3. Nearest gets the save, former Astro, right? Kudos to Craig Counts for saying, hey, Alomar, or not Alomar, but you're no longer the closers. Alizé, there we go. My brain is eluding me, but Alizé, you're no longer the closer. Nearest hasn't been, I was reading some stats on him. It's not like he can be the all-time closer. His closers or saves have been, very shaky too. A lot of hard contact, a lot of walks, but he gets the save in game 2 where we win 4-3. And our guy who we'll talk about here in just a little bit, you mentioned him at the top, JB, PCA, gets his first big league home run and in that series and ties it up. Then the last game of the series, you win 3-1. I mean, Wesniewski pitched well. Didn't allow a single. He was 2-0 with a 0 ERA. So you'll take that from this youngster.
I mean, you look at the 3 games, 3 good baseball games: 7-2, 4-3, and 3-1. Almost. I hate to use the word, but dominant. Good pitching.
Yeah.
Timely hitting. What baseball teams are supposed to do.
What playoff teams are supposed to do, right? Like teams that are going to go in October, and this is how you're supposed to win games.
Gotta ask, because the team's very similar to last year. There's not that many changes that you could say, wow, it's a huge change from this guy to that guy. The roster's very similar. Is the difference Council compared to Ross?
1,001%. I mean, who'd we bring in? The biggest guy we brought in was Showtime, baby. Imanaga. And he's been, he's pitching tonight. Hopefully he wins tonight and gets us a series. He should be April pitcher of the month, if you ask me. It'd be a crying shame if they don't give it to him. At least in our clubhouse he is, but I mean national-wise they should give it to him. But Craig Council's been the guy. He's been able to press the buttons, make the right calls. I don't think Rossi makes the call this early and says, Alizé, you're no longer the closer for now. He's probably still running Alizé out. We're probably losing these games. He's pushing the right buttons, and we're not even healthy. That's the thing, JB. We're not even healthy. We don't even have our number one guy. Our best hitter and Cody Bellinger's out. Our maybe second best, one of our second or third best hitter in Sia Suzuki's out. And we're still finding ways to win games. That shows you the depth of this team and how good this team could really be once we get going, once everybody's healthy.
Yeah, it's just been impressive. I mean, let's break down the Houston series. So first game, they win 7-2. Wicks goes 6 innings, 2 runs. The bullpen holds it up. They score 7. What did you see in that game besides Tachman?
Yeah, I mean Tachman had the huge game in that one. We again, the Cubs do great when they're able to start off early. 5 runs in the first inning. That seems to be the notion of this team. Is like, hey, we're going to try to take the pressure off, especially if a guy like a young kid like Wicks. That lets him settle down. There's not a lot of pressure on him when you can take the mound in the second inning up 5-0.
Yeah, I mean, game 2, you mentioned it early. Swanson, first inning, 3-run homer, set the bar. They scored 4 the bottom of the first, and they came close to giving it away again, but they held on. What did you see in that game?
Jameson Taillon is pitching well. 2 games now. He pitched well this game. He's 2-0 now with a 1.69 ERA. You'll take that. So maybe he figured it out at the back end of last year. Remember the first half of last year, he was atrocious. I mean, awful. I wanted him off the team. If he can keep this going, and he doesn't have to be this good, but just be semi this good, we'll be all right. But you look at that, and that's kind of what I'm taking away is this guy's starting to figure it out finally.
And then game 3, you get that close 3-1 game. PCA with his first home run. First of all, maybe in a way it's a blessing that Bellinger got hurt because this kid's getting a chance to play. We can see what he can do because he bounced around the minor leagues. He started in New York, went to Seattle.
He started in the Mets, and then we traded for him in the Javi trade.
Okay. Yeah, he's been around. He's been around a bit, and
came over in the Javi trade. So he's been in our minor league system. He's one of our top prospects. Got a brief cup of coffee last year. And then this year, he's going to be an excellent fielder for sure. But can he get the hitting going? So for him to get that first hit of his career as a home run in a game, a game-winning home run at that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was key. And I think, it's a great opportunity for him to get some good playing time, see what you have with the kid. And there's no pressure on him because everybody else is producing.
Yeah, and to get in that game too, Wisniewski, 2-0 now, hasn't allowed a run in his 2 starts. So like, you're feeling pretty good about some of these young guys that we're developing because in the past, that's one thing that we didn't have. We weren't developing young pitchers in coming up, and now it seems like Javier Assad has been absolutely killing it. Wisniewski and Wicks as well.
Yeah, then we go on the road. We take the flight to Boston. Game 1, another great game, 7-1. Showtime pitches 6 of the third, 1 run. A lot of scoring throughout the game, 7-1. What was your thoughts on the opener?
Yeah, again, anytime Showtime is really proved to me the bona fide number one right now. Again, the month of April he went 4-0 with a 0.98 ERA. Again, 4-0 with a 0. Give this guy NL National League Pitcher of the Month for the month of April. And if Justin Steele can come back and pitch well, he had a outing in Iowa today or yesterday. And I mean healthy, but the stat line wasn't great. But if he can come back and provide that number one, number two, that's a good 1-2 punch, JB, going into October if they're healthy and pitching well.
Without a doubt, I got to agree with you. And then PCA had a couple of RBIs in the game. Then they go to sleep, winning 4 in a row at that point.
Yeah.
Saturday happens. Maybe they slept in. They decided let's take a day off. I'm not upset. I think sometimes in baseball, if you're going to lose, just get the crap beat out of you because it doesn't make a difference. A loss is a loss. 17-0. I don't know what we can talk about with this game because it doesn't really matter. It still counts the same as, a blown game that we've had many of this year. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. You just wash this away. These are one of them things that happen in baseball. Boston and them ugly ass uniforms that you talked about at the top. Got one in, they scored more points, more runs than their football team did in about half their games this year. So there's that.
And then the finale, Sunday Night Baseball, always nice to play on ESPN. But again, same type of issue. Tie game going into the night. The Cubs fought all the way back, tied it up at 4, and they blow the game yet again. This is how many blown games this year? They'd have a 4 or 5 game lead if they weren't blowing these games.
Yeah, this one, I mean, technically not a blown save, right? But it's just a game that it's a close game where it's like, man, we should have won another game where it's just like we need a bona fide guy that you can just trust to get out 3 outs in tough innings and then late in the back end, right? Because it was tied up 4-4. And really, Dansby Swanson made a heck of a try on the game winner and just couldn't hold it into his glove. It just was like a bloop single in between left field and short, and he dove for it, like slid for it, and just couldn't quite hold it on. Leiter Jr. gives up the run. Cubs lose the series. It's just one of those ones like tough. We just need to solidify this bullpen. We talked about already how good these young, good starting pitchers are going to be, but we need somebody to come in and be able to get 3 outs right away. When we're in tough jams. They don't have that lights out guy in the bullpen, I don't feel like right now. We need to go get one because that's one thing that's could hurt us going into if we get to October and we're playing really meaningful baseball games late August, September, October, is that we don't have a guy where you're like, okay, at the back end, we need somebody to get 3 outs. Who's it going to be? And that guy, I don't know if he's on our roster right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to be buyers at the trade deadline, and that's going to be a key thing because you can't play postseason baseball with the bullpen the way it is. But Botkins, get out of here. Go watch the game. It's the top of the 5th, 0-0. Showtime's pitching a hell of a game. And go enjoy. Where can people find you? What's going on with the MMA show?
Yeah, so again, find me on the Bodkin Show. We'll do the MMA show tomorrow night. Usually happens tonight, but my co-host, it's a date night for him and his wife, so postpone one day. So we'll be back on tomorrow night. UFC 301 tomorrow night will be happening about 7 o'clock Central, 8 Eastern, and then right after that, you can catch me on the LTS show as well. So, full night of Bodkins tomorrow night. Not even my wife gets a full night, if you know what I mean. So she gets about 3-5 minutes. So, but nonetheless, hey, be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, share. Appreciate it, JB. We did finish in first place. I don't care what you say. We finished in first place this month. Let's go. And we broke a franchise record. I think 18 wins for the month of April. That's never happened, not even in 16. So that's how good we can be, baby. Let's go.
All right, Kids. We'll catch you later. All right. So next we got Jay coming in. Jay, what's going on?
What's going on, JB?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Not too bad.
So let's talk about PCA. His first hit, a 2-run homer. What are you seeing about with this kid?
Defensively, he's awesome, man. He's a great fielder, great defensive outfielder. Offensively, he's kind of struggled a little bit. He did hit his first, actually his first Major League Baseball hit was a home run. So, that's a good start. So if we can get a few swings in, see what he can do while Bellinger's out for at least.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Um, so actually, we have a special guest coming in real quick. Let's bring Tyler on because I want to hear his thoughts on PCA.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Yeah, kind of similar to what both of you are saying. He's going to be a terrific, fielder. Question is going to be if he can kind of pick his bat up. I think he can. I think things are encouraging with the Cubs because they can get on base so much that he's going to honestly have less pressure on him. So I think that PCA will pick his bat up. Just kind of similar. It's going to take a little while. We talked about it like a couple of weeks ago with Nico Horner not picking his bat up. Now you look at Nico Horner, and he's one of the guys with the highest average on the team currently. So I think it just takes time. I do think PCA is definitely got a bright future with the Cubs. He looks like he's going to be, one of the best, fielders in all of baseball, I think, in a few years. But I do think he'll pick his bat up. I just think it's one of those things that, he has to have more at bats. He hasn't really been in the league enough, really to really give him too much grief about it. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely agree. So, I was saying with Tabakins earlier, I kind of think it's a blessing that they're doing as well as they are, and there's not that much pressure on him that he's getting to play so much. What do you guys think about that? Start with you, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they get hit with the injury bug lately. So, they're just putting in players that, next guy's up. So, if PCA can fill in for Bellinger while he's out, and produce some, hits and provide a glove and outfield defensively, then I think it's great. Hopefully we get healthy soon. So.
And what about you, Tyler? What do you think about that?
I think the Cubs are in a great spot. I know I talked to you. I haven't been on the show in a couple of weeks, but a couple of weeks ago, JB said, "Do you think the Cubs will be in first place the next time that you're on the show in a couple of weeks?" And we're not in first place, but we're a game out. We won all those games in the month of April. A franchise record for wins. Shota looks unbelievable. He looks like one of the best signings we've had in a while. He's living up to everything. I think we're in a really, really, really strong spot. And I think PCA is going to eventually pick his bat up. It's just the bullpen issues, really. That's the issue. That's the whole issue with the Cubs right now is can we finish the late innings, It sucks that I'm like, I'll watch a whole baseball game and I'm feeling so good about my team. And then all of a sudden when the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning comes, I'm like, clenching on, watching the Cubs, hoping we could pull out a win. But that's honestly what it's been like for me. And it was from last year as well. So it's just like, I hope if we are in the mix and we are buyers, I hope they really, instead of looking at bats, instead of looking at any flashy players, I hope they just fill the need because we need help in that bullpen. That is something that we desperately need right now.
All right, so we have the format already set, but I'm gonna throw you both for a little bit of a change up. So the next thing was Outside of Wrigley, but it's going to be an Outside of Wrigley Cubfidential. The Yankees and Baltimore are going to become one of the best rivalries in the foreseeable future. So whoever goes first can pick their side. The other one's going to combat that. Jay, you could go first. I'm gonna go off for a minute. I'll come back on when you guys are done. You got 2 minutes each.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take Baltimore. They're a young and upcoming team, man. They got a bright future. Um,
Well,
obviously,
Jay, will New York and Baltimore become one of the best rivalries in the future? So are you saying it will be?
yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
okay.
Definitely in the next couple of years. I mean, like I said, Baltimore's a young and upcoming team, so they're going to contend. So I think it'll be one of the good rivalries.
So I'm going to take the opposite here, and I'm going to say that I still think Boston's kind of in the mix. So with Boston being as competitive as they are right now, I still think Boston and New York is still the stronger rivalry. That's the rivalry that we've had years and years of lineage with. So I'm going to still say that's the Yankees and the Red Sox until Boston falls off a cliff. Everyone was expecting Boston to be really bad this season, and so far they've been pretty competitive.
Yeah,
So as they are competitive, I think them and the Yankees are still going to be the rivalry in the AL East.
yeah, I definitely see that. Yeah, it's been a long time rivalry, so always good games with them.
Yeah, yeah. But the Orioles certainly, they're AL contender right now. A lot of people we'll see, we'll see what they are. I know they called up Jackson Holiday and then they sent him right back down because he couldn't
Right.
hit. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because like all the Orioles look alike right now. I don't know what it is going on right now because that's like clone A, clone B, clone C. I don't
Yeah.
know. Him and Gunner, I could barely tell the difference between both of them when they were playing. So I don't know if that's the issue, but we'll see. But yeah, Baltimore's certainly a strong team in the AL East. But yeah, I think it's fun what the Orioles and the Yankees could be right now, and I think the games are fun. But like sometimes I have a hard time with these rivalries to not give respect to what the rivalries are, like the Yankees and the Red Sox, the Cubs and the
Yeah.
Cardinals, the Dodgers and the Giants. Like those are the rivalries to me. That's what I grew up with,
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
and until those teams fall off a cliff completely, I have to just kind of stick with it.
Yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as the Yankee fan here, I'm not going to ever consider the Baltimore as a rival. They're a good team. I love their young players. I think that they're going to win the division a couple of times in the next few years, but the rivalry will always be Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore will be a great team, but it's not going to be the same. There's not going to be the juice there. The only time it ever got there was back in the day when they had Alomar and the Jeffrey Mayer game and all that, way back in the 90s. But now let's go back to the future. Let's get in the hot tub time machine. I want to hear both your perspectives on this. Tell me what you remember about Chris Bryant when he hit a 2-run walk-off home run to beat the Rockies 9-8.
Yeah, I remember. I'll be honest. I remember that whole season of Chris Bryant. I was a big Chris Bryant fan. That was that whole year because he had 99 RBIs that season. I think he had like a close to 90 runs scored, 26 home runs. He batted a little under 300. He was masterful. I remember asking for his jersey for my birthday. Someone asked me. They were like, well, what do you want for your birthday? And I was like, well, please give me a Chris Bryant jersey because that's the guy right now. So I was a big Chris Bryant fan, and yeah, that was an amazing season. Definitely earned Rookie of the Year. And then you see what he did, on that run with the Cubs in the World Series the year after. NL MVP of the National League NLCS. So yeah, definitely remember that.
What about you, Jay?
Yeah, I just I remember you could actually see the names on the backs of the jerseys back then, and the Cubs still had an issue with their bullpen.
Yeah, those jerseys are terrible. That should be something we talked about. Man, they're awful.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the lettering on the jerseys now, I mean, those were like billboards.
Well, they are going back to the older jerseys.
Are they? That's great.
Yeah, there was an article yesterday that MLB basically chastised Nike and Fanatics, and they're going back to the old jerseys as soon as they could get them.
I heard something about, and it might have been on, what was it? Pardon the Interruption or whatever with Tony Kornheiser or whatever and Michael Wilbon, and they said that they might not get those uniforms fixed until 2025. And I said, and I was thinking like, well, that can't happen, right? They have to get those fixed before the postseason starts this year, right? Like, there's no way they could go that long.
How is it even possible that, it's not like you do it for a little league team where you missize 2 jerseys or something and, one kid's got to wear somebody else's jersey. This is the big leagues, This is like as high as you can get. There's no better league, We're not talking about A Bowl and, whatever, somewhere in some part of Missouri that nobody's ever been to. This is, major markets, big name. How do you do that? It's $1 billion mistake.
Yeah, I'm pardon the pun, but I am not a fan of Fanatics. Anything. Like I've bought a couple of things off their website, and it's just garbage. It's horrible.
Well,
it's just crazy because like they still have like an all-star game to do this year. Like there's no way they can have these uniform issues continue to linger like this. They got to get this fixed as quickly as they can. There's no way they can, because that's going to really show up in like an all-star game or a postseason when you get more and more people watching, more cameras, more networks, So yeah, with all that coverage, there's got to be a quicker solution than this.
It's just an ugly, ugly look. So let's go to Cub or Dud. So the Cubs will sweep the series at Wrigley this week against Milwaukee. Start with you, Tyler.
Oh, God. I hope, but I'm going to say Dud because I don't know if they're going to sweep them. I think we're going to win that series. I think Milwaukee will probably, scratch one out from us. I will say that I'm interested in it even more because Counsell is managing the Cubs now, so you're going to have that whole storyline on top of it. So I know he's going to be really eager and really determined to try and sweep them. I think the Brewers will probably get one. I think we're going to win that series, though.
Jay?
Yeah, I agree with Tyler. I don't think they'll sweep them. And I think it all comes down to the bullpen and the bats. If the bats heat up, I think we'll be good. Our starting pitching has been phenomenal. These guys have been really holding it down, and it's just the bullpen. It's the major issue right now. Guys will go like 5, 6, 7 good innings, and then all of a sudden the bullpen comes in and it just blows. So if everything could come together, they have to play their A game, man, to even sweep the series with the Brewers.
It's a 3-game set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if Shota would be pitching then.
No, today's Wednesday, so he'd be pitching the first game of the next series.
I wish he was. I wish he was in that series because I feel good about a W when I got him on the mound. So,
yeah, the way I look at it is sweeping or not sweeping. Just want to win the series. I don't think they'll sweep. Milwaukee's a decent team. I think the Cubs are better, but winning 2 out of 3 is all that's necessary. Guys, I appreciate you both taking the time to come on this week. Hopefully we'll see Jay. I know we'll see you next week. Tyler, hopefully you can be available. If not, we definitely understand, but you're always welcome. And we thank you for coming on. All right, guys. But before we go, don't forget, we got a bunch of shows at Sideline Sports. We got Top Rope Talk Monday nights at 7, Sideline Sports Tuesday at 8:30. You got Hawk Talk Tuesdays at 10:30. Got the Business Insider with Sean Russi on usually Wednesdays right after this. You got, of course, Cubfidential and the Gauntlet every Friday night. So don't be missing out on all the great shows here on Sideline Sports. We'll see you next week. Cubs are up 1-0, by the way. Showed up pitching a shutout. Great game so far.
We just got to hold on in that bullpen. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. All right. Until next week, guys, we appreciate it. Have a good one.
Take it easy, guys.